The Illyrian Confederacy had never lost a world before. Their fleets were elegant, precise, and technologically centuries ahead of most species. When the Vorkesh raiders invaded the outpost colony of Vesta 9, it was supposed to be a routine skirmish at worst, an annoyance to be dealt with swiftly. But Vesta 9 was isolated, a lonely mining outpost in a dead system on the fringe. The Vorkesh came with teeth bared and weapons drawn, burning orbital habitats and pulling terrified Illyrian civilians from the tunnels like rats from their burrows. The Confederacy's nearest fleet was weeks away. The local governor, a timid bureaucrat with no military experience, did the only thing he could think of. He sent a distress signal on every frequency. No one expected a reply. No one except the humans. For 3 centuries, the humans had been a rumor among the Illyrians, deathworlders from Sol, half-wild and wholly unpredictable. They had joined the Galactic Concord under probation but mostly kept to themselves, scattered across harsh colonies and deep space outposts, always training, always watching. To the Illyrians, humans were a relic of the old violent age, useful when there was war to be fought, but best left alone in peacetime. So when Vesta 9's distress signal hit every comm buoy in the sector, the Illyrians assumed it would dissolve into the void. They were wrong. It began with a flicker on the Vorkesh long-range sensors, ghost contacts, echoes that made no sense. Their forward dreadnoughts began to drift, their pilots screaming about boarding pods that tore through hull plating like paper. The Vorkesh commanders laughed. No fleet in the sector could have arrived so quickly. They didn't know the humans had been waiting. What arrived was not an official Confederacy fleet but a patchwork armada of old Terran warships. Some retired, some experimental, all bristling with weapons that made the Vorkesh engineers question their very understanding of physics. Painted across their battered hulls were grim slogans: "Enno gods, Enno masters, we came home, remember SOL." The humans called it the Reclaimer Task Force. On the ground, the miners huddled behind barricades of slagged ore and mining carts, their eyes wide as armored figures dropped from orbit, black exosuits moving like shadows through the burning tunnels. No insignia. No shiny banners. Just the iron mark of an old Earth flag, half-burned but stitched back together 1,000 times. They fought like predators out of legend. Where the Illyrians were sleek and clean in their tactics, the humans were feral, relentless. They didn't fight fair. They rigged mining shafts with explosives, flooded chambers with pressurized gas, and dragged Vorkesh raiders down into the tunnels where exosuits did the killing in silence. Above, the Vorkesh fleet tried to pull back, but the Reclaimer ships closed in like sharks scenting blood. Missile pods fired in impossible swarms, coil guns turned entire battlecruisers into drifting scrap. Boarding craft smashed into dreadnoughts, and Terran Marines, some of them little more than mercenary veterans, carved corridors of ruin through the ship's guts. The Illyrian governor, trembling in a shelter beneath the mines, opened a comm line to the human commander, a grizzled woman with iron-gray hair and scars that looked older than some planets. Why are you here?" the governor asked. The human commander tilted her head, visor flickering with data feeds. "You called for help. But the Confederacy, they didn't answer," the commander finished. Her tone held no bitterness, only a cold certainty. "Humans don't wait for permission. We see a distress beacon, we answer. It's what we do." The signal spread faster than any official news could travel. Across the Concord, species watched in horror and awe as grainy drone footage leaked from Vesta 9. Humans dragging civilians out from burning tunnels, boarding raiders' flagships in 0G, planting banners on wrecked dreadnoughts. Unofficial channels dubbed them the Terran Reclaimers. Legends reborn. By the time the Confederacy fleet arrived, there was nothing left for them to do. The Vorkesh fleet was gone, what remained drifted as frozen husks or burning debris fields. On the surface, the humans were already moving on, leaving crates of supplies and hastily built defenses behind. When the Illyrian admiral hailed the Reclaimer flagship to demand an explanation, the human commander simply smiled. "Next time you call for help, make sure you're ready for what answers." And with that, the humans vanished into the void once more, leaving the galaxy shaken. In the decades to come, children on Vesta 9 would whisper stories of the monsters who came from Sol. Not monsters who devoured worlds, but monsters who devoured the monsters. And in the dark corners of the galaxy, pirates and slavers learned to fear one thing above all else: a human distress signal. Because if you were the cause of it, you'd better pray you never heard what came after.